Hi there. I believe that if you understand this, that you can actually make your life a lot simpler by understanding people better. And I have quite a lot of experience in this area because I grew up around people who were absolutely addicted to drama. And I do not believe that I am unique in this. But I do believe it was quite extreme in my position. And as a result, what I actually sought out were friends and colleagues and various situations that were incredibly stressful because I was constantly looking for the argument, for the fight, for the drama. And it's only in sort of the last few months even, frankly, that I've realised just how much I relied on that drama to fill my day. Now, the thing is, you don't live a productive life when you actually do this. What you actually find is an awful lot of problems. And maybe I'm stuck in a bit of a Twitter echo chamber, but I see a huge amount of posts that are harking back to various periods over the last few decades, the 60s and the 70s in London. And I'm thinking, all these people are kind of putting out this content saying that, oh, it was so good then and it's so bad now. But because I am an exceptionally curious person and I have asked so many questions of people who were there at the time. My parents were born in the late 40s, early 50s. I asked questions and said, oh yeah, the thing is, Martin, when all the strikes were on, the undertakers went on strike and, dustbin men went on strike and we didn't have any electricity and people are sharing pictures of this exact period saying, oh, we never knew that we had it so good. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, but I know about all of this stuff that's going on. Nobody's mentioning this. Nobody's giving the full picture. But also, I think because obviously we're across the Western world, we understand that the conditions of our childhoods are no longer with us and we're living in a very, very different time. But what you'll find, and I noticed this the other day, there was somebody who posted about a particular area of London that is a dump now. Nobody really wants to live there unless they absolutely have to. But there's part of London, East London, which was historically the working class industrial area of London. And it's always been a bit of a dive. And it is now, and it was then. But there's this chap, famous photographer, who was talking about a particular section of East London called 𝐓𝐰𝐢𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, and saying how wonderful it was. The thing is, I read the post, I couldn't help it. I felt a bit judgmental. But I burst out laughing. I couldn't hold it in because I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. No. You cannot possibly be trying to convince people that wandering around this area of London is the absolute best that London has to offer, because it's not. And the thing with me, the reason I was laughing at it is not because I think this guy is an idiot, because he isn't. He's a very creative man. He's clearly a very well-educated man and a kind man, a good chap. But the point is, we need to be honest. We have to give the full picture, and we cannot romanticize things to try and fool ourselves into believing things that aren't true. And my whole ethos is based on being as genuine, as authentic, as honest, and as brave as possible. So if you think about the professions that are universally held as being, the more untruthful ones, the more manipulative ones, we think about lawyers, we think about estate agents, as we call them here in the UK, realtors. who are always trying to spin a yarn about how brilliant things are. When we look at a picture and we know instinctively, oh right, okay, this room in real life is going to look about, it's going to be about a third smaller than it looks in this picture. There's going to be a description of the functions of the rooms and how homely and cozy they are, or it's bijou. Well, we know then that they're trying to sell really desperately a small flat to somebody who has a certain budget and trying to make it sound as brilliant as possible. But when we turn up at said property, we feel the sense of disappointment. So always go for the unvarnished truth. You can word things in beautiful ways, but you can still be truthful. And funnily enough, because I live so close to Chatsworth Park, to the Chatsworth estate, I know the ins and outs of it. And there's a lady who posts incredibly prolifically about the Peak District, this area of the UK. It was the first national park formed in the UK. And she's called Peak Lass. And the photographs that she takes are absolutely fantastic. Her descriptions are brilliant. But she made a post on Twitter today talking about a holiday cottage that you can rent. It's on the Chatsworth estate, and it is literally minutes walk from the actual main house. So it's in the thriving, bustling heart of the estate. But she said, I've always loved this cottage right on the edge of the Chatsworth estate. And I thought, no. And I did debate whether to leave this comment, but I thought, no, I've got to say something. And so I started off with the compliment. You know, you word things really, really beautifully, and you always evoke the spirit and the character and the charm of the area. But this cottage is not on the edge of the Chatsworth estate. It's smack bang in the heart of it. And she did come back to me and said, no, you're right. So she was gracious. She was very, very gracious. And I said, I did debate whether to leave this comment, but I felt compelled to. Because I have perhaps sometimes an absolutely rigid commitment to the truth. And some people might say it's perfectionistic of me. Some people might say it's overblown. But if we don't have the truth, we don't have anything. Live not by lies. So in everything that you do, acknowledge the beauty in things, but never try and sell something that it's not. Always strive for genuine truth, for authenticity, and just be honest with people. Give people the facts. And if they like it, brilliant. If they don't, also brilliant. But be a man of principle.